Well, LSU baseball and softball's reign at the top didn't last long as both teams dropped from the #1 spot this weekend.
And LSU gymnastics continues to prep for the NCAA championships, now less than a week away.
That and much more on the Sports Desk. Come take a ride with us.
That's how you get it done, Tiger style.
Welcome to the Sports Desk, my good people. I'm Johnny Lombardi, and to my right is Derek Kopp. It's almost April here, Derek, and you know what that means.
Well, you got a few things. We got our birthdays.
Yes.
Spring break.
Spring break.
NCAA gymnastics.
Same day, April 26th.
Hey, and I like it.
Heck yeah.
But that's not it. April Fool's Day is also coming up, and I'm sure head baseball coach Paul Mainieri wishes his team's performance this weekend was just a cruel joke. But in reality, the Tigers lost their first home SEC series since April of 2013, slipping from #1 to #4 in the USA Today coaches poll. LSU's two extra inning games in the span of just 3 days, losing both of them and giving the series up 2-1 to Kentucky. Now take it from Coach Mainieri, and over his 30 years of coaching, he called this one of the craziest weekends he's ever seen.
You know, there was a lot of strange things that happened all weekend this weekend. You know, Kentucky and our team battled hard the whole week, and we battled each other very, very hard. And, you know, each game was, you know, came down to a play here or a pitch here or an at-bat here, and unfortunately we just didn't get it done today.
I think, I don't know. It was a tricky weekend all around. I think a lot of guys squared it up right at people. But a lot of stuff happened both ways. It was weird, but we didn't play well enough down the stretch to win and give them a lot of credit. They battled back, and not our best baseball weekend.
Now 23-5 and 5-4 in the conference, LSU will take on UL Lafayette at Zephyr Field in Metairie tomorrow night at 7, and junior Kyle Bowman is expected to start on the bump for the Tigers.
As the madness of March wraps up for college basketball, April is the month in which madness ensues for collegiate gymnastics. Coach Dee Dee Bro and her squad in the NCAA championships for the 3rd straight year and the 31st time in Bro's illustrious LSU career. After finishing 5th in 2013 and 3rd last year, the Tigers are hoping that pattern continues and are shooting for 1st in the 2015 Super 6.
Come as close as we did at the SEC championships, we kind of left SECs with a little bit of a kind of a vengeance, a little bit, you know, we really need a championship. And I think having the opportunity to go to regionals, the #1 seed, is always a big deal.
Everything up until this point has prepared us for how we feel now. We feel very confident, we feel very prepared, and we feel like we have a lot to prove at the end of this postseason.
LSU will head up to Ames, Iowa for the Iowa State Regional on Thursday afternoon. Competition kicks off Saturday at 4 o'clock.
Now, meanwhile, the tennis team seasons are in full swing. In fact, with just a handful of matches left until the SEC tournament, room for error is minimal for both teams. Now, head coach Julia Sell and her women's squad are peaking at just the right time, riding a 4-match win streak, including a 4-2 victory over 21st-ranked Ole Miss, the highest ranked under coach Julia Sell. Meanwhile, the men's team dropped a close match to number 13 Ole Miss at home, 4-3 on Friday. The Tigers still in the top 25 at 15-4 with just one home match remaining.
It had a sense that you know, we're going to have something special tonight. Ultimately, you know, it just didn't happen in a season like this against, you know, quality teams week in, week out. You're going to win some of those, and they're going to get some. And you know, they came up with some great shots under pressure. And winning and losing is you know, unfortunately so different. You know, the feeling, but you know, to be that close and you know, we really know where we could be.
Both the men and women's teams' next matches are on Friday as the Lady Tigers travel to Arkansas and the men's team take on the Florida Gators in Gainesville.
Well, the LSU football team's spring season continues, and as the Tigers prepare for the 2015 season, reporter Taylor Corrett explains how their off-the-field training is just as important.
Well, the season is nearly 4 months away, but the LSU football team practices like they have a bout with Alabama in 3 days. However difficult an obstacle one may meet on the field, court, or mat, often a college athlete's biggest challenge fits in the palm of his hand.
they're big representatives of LSU online and in their social media presence, whether they realize it or not.
So the task for LSU's athletic department and social media coordinator Jake Terry is teaching LSU players like Reed Ferguson and Deion Jones how to maximize the positives of social media and avoid the negatives.
The biggest thing I try to tell them is think of everything you put out on Instagram, even on Snapchat, whatever, it doesn't matter. Think of it as a little press conference.
Very little for a college athlete is going to happen on social media that's going to be good, and there's some upside to it. But the upside in college is minimal compared to the danger, in my opinion.
On the flip side, the athletic department wants its student athletes to use social media, not only for the betterment of LSU, but for their NFL goals as well.
If you're being positive, you probably can't go wrong. You're also making yourself that much more attractive to that general manager, that head coach, that scout.
LSU makes sure they're prepared, bringing in Dr. Karam and other speakers before each season for a week of lessons on social media and personal branding.
Their value is going to be affected by a damaged brand or a strong brand.
You don't want to, be an excellent football player, but, people think bad of you off the field.
It's a good way to market yourself, and, don't put anything on there that you wouldn't want your mom to see.
For the most part, LSU athletes get it. So they head back to the grind, strap on their helmets, clack their cleats, prepping for the latest competitors, keeping in mind that 140 characters could be their toughest opponent. Taylor Curette, Tiger TV.
Dr. Karam will speak to the football and baseball teams this coming fall, and social media coordinator Jake Terry says the athletic department has plans to beef up its social media training even more in the future.
Well, coming up after the break, Reggie Chapman and Amanda Luskin give us the rundown on college basketball's Final Four teams.
And later on, we head back to Alex Box Stadium for more fun from this weekend's Wild SEC series. Come on back.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coast to Coast. I'm Amanda Luskin.
And I'm Reggie Chapman. Now, as you already know, the Final Four matchups are set. The games will be on Saturday, starting with Michigan State and Duke, then Kentucky and Wisconsin. So we went around the campus and talked to students about their Final Four predictions.
I know LSU is not in it.
I believe Kentucky's going to win the tournament because I believe that they're the toughest team amongst all four. They work hard every day. Got Calipari. He's an unbeatable coach.
I'm going to have to go with Duke because the basketball program is dope.
I have to say Kentucky because, one, they're undefeated, and they got NBA talent just all over the field. I can't name no names, but they're all really good, and the coach is really good.
A little about the remaining teams. Kentucky was the clear favorite entering the tournament, and for the first 3 rounds looked unbeatable. They especially looked unstoppable in the Sweet 16 after holding West Virginia to only 39 points. Now, they did get tripped up Saturday night against Notre Dame, but managed to pull through and get the win over the Irish 68-66. As we said earlier, they will take on Wisconsin.
Now let's take a look at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's been balling all year long, and they continue to do it throughout the tournament, getting impressive wins against Arizona and North Carolina, but Kentucky will definitely be their toughest test. Wisconsin may have found the blueprint to beat them if they study the film enough from the Notre Dame game. Expect a good game between those two powerhouses.
Now it's no surprise Duke is in the mix. This is Coach K's 12th time bringing Duke to the Final Four, and so far they have rolled over their opponents. Their only game that ended with a lead of less than 10 points was against Utah in the Sweet 16. They beat Gonzaga 63-57 in the Elite Eight to make it to the Final Four.
Now, Michigan State upset the number 2, 3, and 4 seeds in their bracket to get to the Final Four, and it will not get easier because they'll be playing Coach K's Duke. The overtime win against Louisville is being talked about as being one of the best games of the tournament, and Coach Izzo and his squad are looking to take the momentum with them into their next game.
Now we'll find out on Saturday what happens, and Reggie and I will be returning to our respective coasts for spring break this week. Are you excited to go home, Reggie?
Oh, I'm so excited. Warm weather.
Not for me, but enjoy it.
Johnny and Derek will be back with more after the break, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Welcome back, folks. Well, it was a wacky weekend at Alex Box Stadium, to say the least, Derek.
That is to say the least, Johnny. From weird plays to extra innings, definitely not your average series, but still some entertaining SEC baseball, I would think.
Absolutely. Really entertaining. It was a beautiful start to the weekend on Friday in Alex Box. LSU ready to take on the Wildcats, but then things got a little strange in the 9th inning.
Yep, this is our own Reggie Chapman.
Reginald Chapman.
As you know, coast to coast, he's just taking a break. running on 36 hours sleep. You can't do it. So LSU took a loss one Saturday and was looking for the series clincher on Sunday, but the drowsiness returned. It happens, oh well. Yeah, we work our reporters pretty hard. We'll go with that. But that is all the time we have for today. Remember to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at @TTV_sports. Sorry, let's take a break. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter.